the one we're going to be using today. And I love doing these trays. We're going to give this one a little bit of a, it's going to have this graphic on it. This is just a rub-on transfer. So I'm going to paint this with some Waverly chalk paint, just probably one coat. I want to like give it some trim with some jute rope, I think. We're going to add some of the Totally Dazzled Christmas pack bling on here. I'm not sure what yet, but we're going to do the Christmas pack bling and maybe some snowflakes. And I want to put a little pop of red on here. I also have this little cardinal transfer. I'm going to paint some stripes here in red as well around the outside. So I am going to paint this entire tray. So I'm putting a second coat. All right, so I think 2 coats is good. So see how we just got that all painted? So I'm gonna grab a pencil, and what I'm gonna do is, I wanna put stripes around the outside. So you gotta make sure that they're even, you know, red, white, red. I'm gonna do red and white. It's like more like eyeballing it because I don't really wanna measure it. So all I'm gonna do is kind of pick a middle, and I'm just gonna draw a line. Okay, just like that. Then I'm going to work my way across, and I'm going to draw a line over there, okay? And then I'm going to flip it this way, long ways, and I'm going to draw a line right in the center here. It almost looks like the tray's uneven, but you just find your middle and just eyeball it, and then flip it around. So now you have like 4, you have to like divide it up, if you know what I'm saying. So this is like one section, this is one section, so this is 4. So now I'm just gonna try to find the middle, I guess, is like the right thing to do. And you wanna try to just eyeball it, because I want it to be even. I think this is right. And then you kind of work your way in, and then that way, you know, it's even. So I think I can do it like this, y'all. I don't like to guess on these kind of trays, because when you do that, you're risking the chance of not having it even. So you want to make sure. Now, if you can leave it like this, so see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You just got to make sure you have an even numbered thing. So now I'm going to take in between this section, I'm going to take in between, halfway in between that, okay? I'm going to do halfway between these 2. And even though on the curve, I'm still going to do halfway between these 2. Halfway between these 2. And just eyeball it, guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just totally eyeballing it. Halfway between, yes, halfway between these 2. And then halfway between these 2. You have to think about it a little bit, but just keep working in halves. And then double check, you know, your work. So if I start here, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so I'm still in an even number. So now I want to make skinnier stripes, so now I'm going to just work my way. I think we're just going to do it. Now you just find your lines again, and I'm going to do one in between here, and I think this will be the perfect amount of stripes. We're golden, folks. We're golden. Okay, so now I know I'm going to use red paint, and then do I want to add in some black? Is that what makes your red a little bit darker? I think so. So I guess that's kind of good, right? Works for me. Now I'm going to paint right up over this handle. I don't even care if I get a little bit down here. And I'm just going to do the ones where I have the X. And I'm not going to worry if I get it a little bit on my tray. It's probably going to require 2 coats of this red. Oh, I think that's a perfect red too. Now, again, I am not worrying about getting this. If I get this on this fancy trim, I don't care because you guys have seen me do this before. It's going to be, we're gonna go over that with the gold anyway. But look it, I think this is gonna be a perfect red. It's gonna need 2 coats for sure. Red over white, I'm sure you all know this if you've painted anything. It can be a little bit tricky. So, and I'm not worried about my lines being perfect. You know, it just is what it is. Just make something pretty. I don't know if I've done lots of Christmas trays in the past. Even if you go a little offline, you can just fix it, you know? Okay. So see here, that's our first coat. Do you see how we have to do a second coat of that red? But I am going to dry those red stripes. So now I'm going to take my brush again and I'm just going to do, now this will go faster because I'm not going to be as picky, but you see how much, I'll show you the difference between 1 coat and 2 coats. See how much better that one looks? See how these are still a little see-through? You don't want that, at least I am going to, right now, put on the force field. That is the Paint Pixie sealer. I don't want to apply a transfer onto paint because it'll peel it up. So I always like to seal my paint first and then I can apply the transfer. Okay, so force field is super, super thin. It's like almost like a water, but when you put this over, and I'm really gonna focus, you know, around the inside and the outside. When you put this over to do a transfer, it just works great. Okay, now we can do, so here's my transfer. This is from the IOD, this is their Christmas booklet. And I'm gonna use the whole thing. I'm gonna peel off the backing. Make sure everything's dry. And ooh, you gotta make sure, you know, this is a super, super sticky, okay? I wanna make sure it's centered. Doesn't, again, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I just wanna make sure. I think that looks good, so I'm just gonna start pressing like that, lay it down. Okay, I think I've done pretty good. So now you get your little burnishing stick, which, where are those? That comes with your transfer. And then you're just gonna start, you know, rubbing it off. It's like a little bit of an arm workout. And press that transfer all down there. But you can hear it when it starts to lift. It's gonna be beautiful. Are you guys ready? Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna get my... And then you just kind of lift and press, and you'll know what needs pressed and what doesn't. I can tell that one doesn't want to stick. And then I just kind of work my way down, and you can see what's not sticking. Just press it back down. Does the force field? I think the force field works amazing with transfers. I'm not gonna lie, like, it's impressive how much easier it goes on. If this was on wet paint or Mod Podge, even Mod Podge is so thick that it's like you risk, you know, pulling up your paint. So I love the transfers over the Pixie paint, the force field. And you just gotta kind of go a little slow. And this is a big transfer, so you don't want to just rip it. And you can see if you're missing anything, press it back down and make sure that that comes off. And then just kind of smooth that out, press that down. Look at how good that looks. Ooh, it's coming along now, isn't it? Okay, so now because I have that transfer on there, I want to give it one more coat. I'm going to give it another coat of force field to just seal that transfer down, and then that way that transfer is not going to lift. And I am using the force field. Oh crap, the red bird. I want to add this red bird just in honor of my brother. Now, I don't know where I want him. I think I just want him sitting over here, maybe like on one of these letters. But see, I have an idea for that letter, so I think I'm gonna put him like right here in this kind of like this white spot right here. Or maybe just right on top of that O, like over here. I'm just gonna press him down. I just added that little red bird. He is a little bit brighter than the paint, but that's okay. And I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna give him a quick little coat. And you can layer these things all over. So I am going to grab my favorite. This is the Bear Wax. I'm going to do a little bit of dark, a little bit of clear, paper towels, and all I'm going to do, I'm not even going to focus on this outside edge because I'm not really worried about that. I just want to see how this looks. I want to, you know me, I like things to be more vintagey looking, more old world. And the great thing about this wax is you rub it on, you brush it on, and then you wipe it off. Brush it on, wipe it off, and see how that's just going to antique that so it's not that bright white. The transfer says Christmas Valley, family run since 1923, Mountain Lodge, and Natural Hot Springs, ice finishing, and world famous hot toddies. It's just a cute little Christmas scene. Look at how pretty that looks. See how it just kind of aged up a bit? So now, taking my liquid gold, so around those edges right here, I'm just going to take this liquid gold. The handles, you're getting it, sister. I'm just going to take this liquid gold, and all I'm going to do is just, you know, run my brush down the sides. And again, don't try to be too picky, but all this is going to be trimmed out in the gold. And if you don't have like a perfectly straight line, don't sweat the small stuff. So see, isn't that going to be so pretty? Metallic. So now I want to take my fine skinny brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like go over these lines. I'm going to show you here in a second. Just gonna a skinny little tipped brush, and I'm just going to clean these up by doing that. So see how we're just gonna frame out those red stripes. That's gonna clean up your stripes and your paint lines. And it's gonna blend right in. Okay, so we've got that all done, and you're staying around here too. So all I'm gonna do is take this, and I'm just going to brush in there. And kind of press it into that seam of the tray. And instead of doing like a jute rope or anything like that, I was gonna do like rope, but I like the gold too. See if I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so now comes the good part. It's dried up. Now, that's so pretty. Okay, so now comes the bling, and here's what I had in mind. I whipped out my Christmas packs for Totally Dazzled. The Christmas packs, and then I did some snowflakes. And what I was gonna do is put these little Christmas wreaths for the O's. So I'm gonna put one there. I have so I think it's sitting there. So I'm just gonna put some B7000 here on those high points. And I'm gonna use a little bit of hot glue to attach it right then and now. And I'm gonna make that O this little Christmas wreath. And then I want one over here on this O too. This, which would be really cute. So you could still use this. You could display candles on it or whatever, but they even have like a little Santa's reindeer flying through the sky. We could even maybe put that over here like it's flying through the sky. So again, I'm gonna do B7000 and then a little bit of hot glue here and there. I'm just gonna drop that right there. Oops. So that's on there cute. I could put this up here in the center, like he's flying through the mountains, or I could put it off over here. I kind of like it right in the center there, like he's taking off through the sky. Have fun with it. When my nieces and nephew come over, they'll be like, oh, look at it, Santa. And they'll get a kick out of it, so, you know. So a little bit of hot glue here and there until that B7000 takes over. Cute. Yeah, so we just have that there. So see how this is? It's just a tiny, tiny little crown. I got this on Amazon. I am going to cut off the little loop at the top. Oops. And I'm going to use a little bit of B7000. And a little bit of hot glue. But look at how cute this came out. So it's just whimsical, just fun. You can kind of do what you want to do. All right, I don't want that to slide. So I'm gonna give you a shot. See that little crown right there? Look at how cute on his head. Look at how pretty. Everything came out gorgeous. Like a little bit of diamond dust I think would be pretty. Yeah, it's so pretty. It's definitely a display piece. All right, a little bit of Mod Podge. A little bit of Mod Podge. And I'm just gonna go and do the top of the cabin. Okay, top of the cabin. Okay. Top of the cabin over here on this side. Just like where it would snow. Just a little little bit, y'all. Oh, I do like it. Okay, I'm gonna put some on the picnic table. Now we're getting crazy here, folks. A little bit right here on this picnic table that's full of snow. So why not? And then maybe, I think that's it. So see, just a little bit of sparkle right there on the roof. I think that really looks pretty. And then of course the sparkle from the Totally Dazzled Christmas packs.
Totally Dazzled sells sparkling rhinestone wedding supplies. Check us out at totallydazzled.com. But before you do, click up here and download our free Printable Sparkle Quotes. Or click down here and watch one of our other awesome tutorials.